You hum a song that won't be recorded for 20 years and try to take your mind away from this moment, but the melody is interrupted by the thump of metal against bone, the loosening of the man's grip on you, his body sinking back to the ground. You open your eyes, and turning, you see Janine, lead pipe in hand, looming over the man. She screams and goes to bring the pipe down again upon him, but you grab hold of it from her. Don't want to get the real police onto us for murder, you quip as you take a deep breath and the two of you share a smile. At least we should check his pockets for money, no? She responds, and you agree. You find enough money to get Sabine a simple dress and some fruit for all of you. You take the gun, too. A one-shot pistol. Derringer, if you remember correctly. Once you have the dress for Sabine and some food in your bellies, the three of you head back down Basin Street towards Mahogany Hall. I'm sorry it's not very fancy, you apologize about the dress to Sabine, but she doesn't mind. It's comfortable enough, and that's what matters. To you, it looks like something a child might wear, but Sabine has that look about her. An innocence despite her profession. Her face is still full in that youthful way. No wonder she wants to escape, you think. She's still got something to look forward to. As you make your way down Basin Street, you take your time to let everyone get acclimated so as to not draw too much attention to yourself. Sabine's eyes dart around like a child at a toy store, asking questions about everything as you pass them, and a few times catching confused and suspicious looks from passers-by. What's that instrument? French horn. And that one? Oboe. And that bowl of food? Gumbo. No, jambalaya. Jambalaya, she repeats slowly. Smells amazing. Yanine isn't as excited about the sightseeing charade, focusing her eyes on the destination instead. You notice her stoic exterior quiver a little in annoyance at one of Sabine's questions. What is that thing? Sabine says it so loud that several people turn and stare. Can you please stay quiet? Yanine barks at her, and from that moment on, there were no more questions. Catahoula cur, you whisper to her to lift her spirits after being scolded. The whole walk is more than just an opportunity to catch your breath and sightsee. You spend it looking around and searching for anyone who might fit the bill of the tap officer, but nobody stands out as you near the steps of Mahogany Hall and knock on the door. Is that a statue of? Sabine starts to ask. Mary, you respond. You recognize her? The Mother of God, Sabine responds, and makes the sign of the cross. You see Yanine do the same, though less enthusiastically as the door swings open. A tall, wide man dressed in a smart black tuxedo with matching bow tie opens the door, his face dark and emotionless. May I help you, ladies? He asks in a tone that matches his physique. We're ladies in need of working, you say. Came here from Houston on the train, and then this bother of a storm cropped up and delayed us from arriving. I believe Miss Lulu is expecting us. The man looks at you discerningly for a moment. That ear needs tending to, he says, and you realize for the first time that you're bleeding. Must have cut it when you tackled the man earlier. The doorman steps to the side and lets you enter. You thank him and look back around at the street, expecting to see the tap, but it's just the ordinary busyness of daily life passing by. The brothel is as opulent as you recall from an old report at the HTTC. Beautiful furniture fills the lobby and common rooms. Mirrors lining the walls give the place a much grander feel and reflect the light from the windows, illuminating the vibrant colors of the mansion. You pass under a massive crystal chandelier, its pendants gleaming and dancing from the breeze you brought in with you. Across the way you see a winding staircase, heading up to what you presume are the bedrooms. Several women sit in the lounge area, each wearing smart clothing, though more revealing than what you three have on. Gentlemen suitors laugh with them, drinking from decorative glassware and smoking cigars and cigarettes. A small band is in the corner playing a light jazz number you can't quite place, but it's lovely. Why don't you come with me and we'll get that cut looked after, the doorman says. Oh, we really should stay together, I think, you answer, but he lets you know that you're all safe here. Darla will look after your friends while you're away. You look back towards your two companions as you walk away with the large man. They look small and unsure as the lady ushers them to a couple of empty chairs and offers them something to drink. You see a couple of men eyeing them as they pass, but their heads are quickly redirected by the ladies who have already engaged their company. Don't worry, miss. Those men know not to act stupid, he says as he opens a door into the kitchen. Inside, he looks over your ear before reaching for some bandages and a bottle in the cabinet. Nasty little nick you got there. Must have caught it on something coming down the street, you lie, looking towards the door. Hold still, this is peroxide. Might burn a little bit. He's right, and you wince at first before you hear the sound of bubbling and a tickling sensation on your outer ear. He places the bandage on the treated wound and tells you to give it a minute before you go walking around. I really would like to rejoin my friends if that's all right, you say, but he blocks the door. Not before you tell me why you're really here. You ain't no working girl. Neither is your tall friend out there. Could tell how y'all was looking around. Your eyes. I'm good at reading people's eyes. And if I can tell, Miss Lulu surely will. So what is it you really looking for? You're too young to have a daughter working here. Husband, is it? My friend, you say, resigning yourself to a half-truth. It's her brother. Brother, huh? Well, that's better than a husband. Those situations usually kick off pretty terrible. Which one of them is his kin? The tall one. He pauses and looks at you. He got eyes like her? At least one of them is the same. Yes, and a missing piece of his right ear, the doorman finishes. He came here a couple of days ago, really messed up like he's been fighting. Course, it could have been the storm that beat him up. That's what Miss Lulu said, but I don't think so. I know what bruises from another man's fists look like. Is he still here? You say too loudly. Left yesterday with Miss Lulu, down to the Red Cross tent. Can't have free house guests for too long in a place like this. Where is this tent hospital? You've dropped your faux accent, and that gives the doorman pause at first. It's down on Jackson Square by the river, he finally puts in. Thank you so much, you say, starting to gather your things when the derringer falls out onto the floor. The man slowly picks it up. It looks like a toy in his large hand. He takes a deep breath before handing it back to you, and you head for the door. Another man came looking for him not long after, he says, stopping you in mid-stride. Now that fella had something about him. Something unnatural. What do you mean? You say over your shoulder. It's the eyes, he says. Like I say, I can read people by their eyes. His, though, there was nothing in them, just dark, and his voice. It was like him speaking made the whole place feel cold. If your friend's brother is messed up with a man like that, he's in mighty big trouble. And carrying that gun around, it looks like you know it. You exit the kitchen back into the lounge and see Sabine posing by a mirror, a man with a camera guiding her on how to stand. A flash goes off and the man pops his head up and thanks her before turning to Janin to ask if he can do the same with her. She shakes her head and turns in your direction, noticing the obvious scowl on your face. What on earth are you doing? You say to Sabine, causing the whole room to go silent. Even the band has stopped playing. Sabine looks confused and shocked at the anger in your voice, and you grab her by the arm and pull her to the side. Taking a photo in a past timeline is hugely inappropriate, you tell her through gritted teeth. You don't even notice that your cuff has broken from its camouflage state and is starting to glow a light yellow. I'm sorry, she says. This man, what was it again? Belloc. E.J. Belloc. I'm sorry if I've offended you, ma'am. I only wanted to capture your friend's lovely nature, and the light is the best it's been in days. You see the cuff glowing, and you grasp your hand around it, pressing the camouflage feature again. No harm done, Mr. Belloc, you say in your faux accent again. However, my friend and I must be going. We have a lunch date with a friend of ours. The gentleman tips his cap and goes to converse with the other individuals. The band starts playing again, and your outburst seems to be forgotten. What do you mean we have a lunch date with a friend? Janine asks, standing to join the two of you. The doorman told me that Kevri has been here. He's down in the French Quarter at a tent hospital. Is he all right? Janine asks. I don't know, but we'd better hurry. Seems the tap came looking for him yesterday. You look towards the doorman and thank him for his help. He nods his head and wishes you well as you exit back onto Basin Street, the heat and humidity of the New Orleans air greeting you all once more. Just a few blocks and you'll have Kevri. This is going smoother than you could ever have hoped.